So if you saw my video, a vicar under lockdown and what my life has been under lockdown, not being able to go into my beautiful church, today it all changes. We're allowed in. Let's go. Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Dan Beats. This channel is all about inspiring intentional discipleship, helping you go deeper in your faith and living it out in the world today. I'm outside my church here. The church has been closed since March. We have not been allowed into the church. We've now got instruction that we're allowed to go into the church. In fact, only one person's allowed to go in, and that's me for this church. Because of the coronavirus, excuse the wind if it's blowing, because I'm not using my old camera because that's broken, so I'm back on my phone. This is where I am. I always get this difficulty with keys, and you have to follow me. Look. So here's the back door. So we're going in, and excuse while I open the other door. I think it's a bit too dark, and then I need to close this door under instruction. Then we have to go in. It's all spooky now, and lock doors. And it's better to lock doors just in case someone always tests the door and wants to come in. So we're going into my church, walking in. That's the vestry there. Back in the church, which is pretty cool, which is pretty amazing to be back in. There's the altar up there. And bear with me as you spin round. My camera's going to try find me on the gimbal here. We are back in the church, which is really great to be back in here. It's been, for me, an awful decision that we closed the church, and that even me as the parish priest, the vicar here, cannot come in to do prayers. I mean, this building is massive. And I think it's hugely important that prayers should be said, and yes, you can say them everywhere. But there is just something, and yes, even though I'm an evangelical as well, this church, well, the first vicar was in 1294. The list is up there. You know, this building's been here since 1200s. There might have been one here before, and there's been prayer happening in all the time. Now, the services, I totally agree. They shouldn't have happened, and for the safety of many people. But to not allow one person to come in to pray is, I think, so this is why it's great to be back. So what I'm allowed to do in here is to pray, is to live stream the services. So in fact, this isn't the first time I've been in. I was in here yesterday recording the services, and now I've just got to do a couple of sermons for the services. It's strange when you do a service that you can do them separately. And also there's other stuff, like we got bats. There's a lot of bat poo, like 6-7 weeks of bat poo around, and I've got to clear that up. So here is the equipment here. I left in church, thank God it's still here. So this is what I use here, my teleprompter. And I set it up so I can do the services from up there. So what's going to happen is that there's 3 phases. In the UK, they've got 3 phases for the whole of all the people. So first phase is I'm allowed back in the church. I'm allowed to do prayers. I'm allowed to live stream services or record them. And because it's such an old church, Wi-Fi is awful, and so thick, the wall's so thick that you don't even get a signal in here sometimes. So there won't be live streaming of services. There'll be pre-recorded services, and I do the traditional service pre-recorded, and the contemporary one I'll still do live. Then hopefully in June, I think we'll follow the government. We'll get certain services back. Now the Church of England haven't been really clear on that. I think that what they mean is funeral services, which again should have been done in church. I mean, like, if as a Christian, if you died during that there's an argument out there, but you don't need to go to be buried in church. Yes, but there is, the churches are sacred, holy places, and yes, you do, and not to be coming in here. Yes, I know that many people wouldn't be able to come, but to be here, to rest here for those prayers, it's just so, it was something that we should have done, and we respected the wishes. And there's some times where decisions, even though they're hard, I know where the thinking's coming from, but we need to understand faith, really. Funerals, I think, will be one of the ones that are going ahead, and the other one I think might be weddings, but I'm not sure. But to be honest, weddings are gone because everyone's cancelled their weddings, because a lot of people spent a lot of money on weddings. They've done their bookings for the reception and stuff like that, and obviously because of social distancing and how many people can actually go to a wedding, how many people can actually go to the reception after and the party. So a lot of people are deferred it till next year. So I really don't think that many weddings are going on. And then from July the 5th would be, if the coronavirus rate doesn't go back up in the UK, July the 5th will we have our first service in this church. It's been a while since I used this gimbal, so I'm going to just move around and let the camera chase me. It's very good. The technology is amazing. So when we have our service, you see all these seats here. Well, there's got to be a 2 meter distance for all these people, so we'll have to do our seating layout. So there's either got to be two things that happen. They need to say you can have as many people in your church that can fit, but it's got to be a 2 meter distance between everybody, or they're going to limit it on numbers. So we got to, in a sense, we got to work out how many people we could fit realistically. But it is a big building; we can put chairs everywhere. Our congregation isn't huge, and we don't know how many people will come back at the moment. Anyway, I mean huge into fill all that, but that's the dream. One day that this place will be packed out. So, but July the 5th will depend, and church will look kind of very differently. So it's exciting to be back into the church. It's it's different, isn't it? It's different to come back into this place where you're serving. You've got a long list of priests who've been here before you, and there's only a few of us who've been for such an exceptional time when the church gets closed for services. It really doesn't happen that often, and so out of this long list here we go. My name's not up there yet. On this long list since 1294, and my name will go there. Not many of us have experienced not being allowed into your church or not being allowed to do church services, but we are getting back. A bit of work to do. Thing is, you don't want to look on the floor because there's lots of dead little things, but I think the mice clean them up anyway. It's amazing, these old buildings, what animals live in them as well, and they must have been loving it because they've had free reign of this place. So that's the update. Church is open. It's great to be back. What it looks like going forward will be very different. This place will be for the next 6, 7, 8 weeks until July, when we can open it up for public worship. Will just be for any funerals coming in, and so it'll be me making services up there and doing some sermons and doing a bit of stuff, but not going back to normal. And then, as everyone keeps saying, don't they, what's the new normal? What will it look like? And that we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what the church decides. And hopefully now they start making some right and sensible decisions on this. This building needs to be open for the public. This building is a place of sanctuary and a place of prayer. And there's many people out there who are worried and anxious still. And, when that happens, this is a place that people come to and just to sit and just to contemplate and just, if they want to ask questions and if they want to pray. And hopefully we can get that, because that's one of the most important functions a building like this can do. But being ranting, I think there's a load of frustration in me because of this, and we're nearly going to get back, and getting back and being told to stay in the vicarage and not go out and not do what you're called for has been incredibly frustrating. So hopefully we're going to get back to being able to get out and proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ and give people the hope that they really need in a time like this, and help them to understand where God is and what life is in this. So pray for that. Pray for that we can now take a full advantage of the opportunities that are coming up for us all, and that our congregation are safe, and that church will be church, which is the people. When I say church, obviously church building and church people. People say it's not about the building. I think the coronavirus has proved that the building's got a huge functionality, and it is a huge symbol in people's lives, and it needs to be alive just as much as us. If you didn't have the church people, the body, people will still come through those doors because it's a place of sanctuary. So the other thing is, before signing off, is it helps us to understand what church is and what the church building is for, and it's making us think. So the coronavirus hasn't been all bad. Chase me, camera, chase me, chase me, camera, chase me. The coronavirus hasn't been all bad because it's making us think about church and what church is. Look at this. There's the Christmas tree, and we put this up just before Easter, coming up to Easter, and this was one of our last family services, which we had in March. So yeah, this was at Lent, at the beginning of Lent, and people have put on there about what they're going to give up for Lent. So it'd be great on the next time we do that service with the same people to see if they did all these things. So you have a look at some of the things. Bad sweets, cakes and biscuits. That was actually mine. Talking, someone's going to give up cake, wine, chocolate, cake and wine. Fasting, reading the Bible daily, and less coffee was something they're going to do. Getting closer to God for Lent, daily prayers and daily Bible reading, chocolate, Nutella. I wonder how many people kept to these, especially because of lockdown. Giving up meat, wow. And last one, self-doubt. Giving up self-doubt, that's a good one, isn't it? So we're back in. We are back in. Church can finally start. I started this role here in December. And I've been here 6 months, and 4 of the months I've been able to do services and 2 months not. So let's see where this goes. But thank you for joining me as we come back into church, and let's see what the excitement and what God's going to do through all of this. And I will see you soon. Keep this church and this ministry in your prayers. Bye.